What is going on, everyone? Hey, K10, how's it going? How's it going there? Are we ready to rock and roll? Doge, you were second. You were second this time. I think that's the first time you've ever been second to a stream. Uh, what's up, guys? I'm back finally. Uh, hold on, let me go live on TikTok here real quick. Do. Y'all ready to watch some crazy? I know I'm ready to watch some crazy. Can you guys hear me okay? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if everything sounds peachy? Do. Mm-hmm. So how's everybody doing today? Are we good? Man, it's been a crazy day for news, man. There's all kinds of shit going on. Kyle Rittenhouse is going to court or going to stand trial. Ivanka Trump, Ivanka for prison is trending. Like, we got some crazy shit going on. Uh, Peachy, okay. Uh, Give me 1 second here, guys. What else is going on? Um, Politico wrote a really good piece about Sidney Powell's whole Kraken strategy. It's pretty good. We'll go over some of it here in a second. But first, we got to go over the some of the testimony of the other witnesses besides Melissa Carone or whatever her name is. All right, I'm ready. Wanted to give you guys a second to pop in there. But yeah, all right. So, okay, everybody's Rudy farts. Yes, astute observation. All right, let me switch scenes here. Oh, wrong one. Boom. All right, let's get it. All right, first one up. All right, let's go over some of the. So yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse is going to trial, so that's good. That just happened today. This is a so yesterday Ivanka Trump, I don't know if it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. She got deposed. They're looking into the Trump campaign about the inauguration, which I knew they totally funneled money through. Because that inauguration in 2016, they tried to say they spent $100 million on it, when Obama in 2012 only spent 25 million. So obviously they used it to kind of pump up some prices, and they funneled a bunch of money into their own properties, is what they're alleging anyway. This is an email that Ivanka Trump got from one of their tax people. I wanted to follow up on our conversation and express my concerns. These are events in PE's honor at his hotel, and one of them is with and for family and close friends. Please take into consideration that when this is audited, it will become public knowledge that locations were also gifted and costs were underwritten to lower rental fees. I understand that compared to the original pricing, this is great, but we should look into the whole context. In my opinion, max rental fees should be 85,000 per day. Basically, this is talking about they funneled a bunch of money into the Trump Hotel in the inauguration. I think it was like $1 million or something they're alleging. Just more crook shit. That's how they roll. Just more crook shit. Uh oh yeah, we gotta look at this real quick. How we doing on oh, okay. All right. Uh so, down in Georgia they're eating their own. So the QAnon people have come out and said, don't vote for him because it's all rigged, you know. So now the Republicans are pushing back.
16, a man shot up a Washington, D.C. restaurant.
11.
The FBI calls QAnon domestic terrorists.
QAnon followers believe world governments are being controlled by a shadowy cabal of pedophiles.
I'm sorry, this is the Midas Touch ad. This is basically calling the Republicans a bunch of crazies. But this is what happens when you you flirt with the crazy people. You get thrown in with the crazy people, which the Republican Party basically just is the crazy people at this point. But that's basically what this ad's doing.
The Bureau warns some of those conspiracy theories will likely motivate some domestic extremists to commit violent activity.
But what does Team Loeffler and Perdue call QAnon? Friends.
Kelly Loeffler got a polarizing endorsement from fellow Republican marcher retailer Green.
Q is a patriot.
Green is a racist conspiracy theorist.
Perdue and Loeffler have created enough chaos.
A QAnon supporter barricaded himself inside an armored vehicle. In 2016, a man shot up a Washington, D.C. restaurant.
11 killed, 6 wounded. People killed while worshiping.
Pretty good ad.
Stop them before they make Georgia a safe haven for QAnon terrorists. Tell Loeffler and Perdue there is no Q in Georgia.
Our campaigns are working together.
Stop Team Q. Midas Touch is responsible.
Dun dun dun. So yeah, that's what happens when you accept the QAnon people and have them vote for you and all that. You get the blowback. So Midas Touch, they make some pretty good ads actually. All right, but let's get into the testimony. We'll warm up. We'll warm up with a little bit of this other lady first. Just a few clips. Hold on. Let me check Twitch real quick. Make sure everything's kosher. Okay. All right. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay. All right. But what do you do when you want to be racist and say, hey, all Asian people look alike, but you can't say that because, you're white? You get an Indian person to say it for you.
Let's let her testify.
The other representative said that you can actually show up and vote without an ID. It's shocking. How can you allow that to happen? Like, a lot of people think all Indians look alike. I think all Chinese look alike. So how would you tell?
Like, tell me that just wasn't some scripted shit that they wrote down for, here, say this. Say this. That's going to really hit with our base. You can hear people in the background laughing and shit. Like what a line.
If some chow shows up, you can be anybody and you can vote. And if somebody with my name, you can't even tell my name. Anybody can vote on my behalf. So ID should be the basic requirement.
Please,
Yeah, but it's not. So there's no voter ID law in Michigan. So why are we even talking about it? Kind of pointless. And then there was one other one too with her. So this isn't like a court hearing or anything. It's just it's just a public hearing with the Congress of Michigan. But Rudy Giuliani, he kept objecting to certain questions.
This is a committee. Why do you? Are we listening to your story here today if it has already been ruled incorrect and not credible by a judge in court?
It has not been.
By the way, how's the sound on that? Can I get a thumbs up on the sound for the
objection
audio?
It has. Well, this is not a courtroom. This is a committee. Why do you keep objecting to what I'm saying here?
Representative.
Are we listening to your story here today if it has already been ruled incorrect?
I just thought that was funny. That's we got this is the first runoff poll I've seen. You got Warnock 52, Loeffler 45, and then Ossoff 50, Perdue 48. Which these polls don't really mean shit, but I mean that's not bad, that's not we could be doing worse. All right, let's get to the main course. Now, I've only watched like 5 minutes of this because I just wanted to, just be able to watch it with y'all and just react to how it goes. I've seen the few clips that I made videos about last night, but, I mean, This lady's got 30 minutes of testimony. It's got to be solid gold. I'm just sure of it. So, yeah, without further ado, let's see what we got here.
We'd appreciate that, sir. So with that, please, Melissa, we'd like to hear your story. And please, when you're ready, proceed.
Melissa, why don't you tell us your name and tell us, short and as briefly as you can, what happened when you were working for Dominion.
Sure. My name is Melissa Carone. I was contracted to work for Dominion Voting Systems. I'm a freelance IT worker.
By the way, when she says she was contracted to work, she had 1 day's worth of training, and she was basically hired like 3 days before. She was just an independent contractor. They hired her, specifically for that day. She wasn't some long-time Dominion employee. She's not a whistleblower. She's a Trump Republican who decided to go out and work the polls, and she had clearly no experience, as you'll see in an article I'll show you guys in a little bit. She had no prior experience ever working in elections, and yeah, she's just a goober, basically. She's not some expert. She's not a whistleblower. She's a crazy lady who loves Trump, and that's it.
I was contracted to work for Dominion to assist with IT during the election. I started work at 6 a.m. on November 3rd at the TCF Center. I got off work at 5 a.m. November 4th. Went home, went to bed. Okay. Returned to work at 10 a.m. November 4th.
Okay.
Stayed until approximately 2 p.m. November 4th. When I got off, I had a doctor's appointment. I was supposed to come back to work. One of the Dominion employees, he's in my affidavit, his name is Samuel, texted me and said, "We're almost done counting ballots. We don't need you to come back." It was getting a little rowdy when I left. I really didn't want to come back anyways.
I mean, I think goober is fitting, as you pointed out in the chat there. I think goober is pretty fitting. By the way, I don't know if you guys remember, I made a video about this on TikTok, but this is the same lady who did this interview. I don't know if you remember this goofiness here. We'll play a little bit of that in a minute, but yeah, that's the same lady. So she's just more pilled out here, that's all. She had about a half a bottle of Xannies and then decided to talk about voting machines.
So that is why I was contracted to work for Dominion, assisting with IT.
Okay, we got it.
And when you were working there,
you worked there for a day.
Did you observe?
We got you.
I observed numerous employees, city workers, running batches of ballots through the tabulators.
What do you think Rudy's doing on his iPad over here? 50-50 shot, he's watching porn. Right there, just out in the open.
Countless times without discarding them first. The tabulating machines would jam 2 to 3 times an hour. When they would jam, the correct process would be to pull out the problem.
All right, first let's talk about how she said that ballots kept getting run through the machine. That's impossible, because the poll book, which they bring up later, what that basically is a software program, and it anytime somebody's ballot is ran through, it registers it. If the person, their name, all their information, it registers that in the system anytime a ballot goes through. So if what she claims that 50 ballots got run through the machine 10 times, that person's name would come up 10 times. But for some reason that didn't happen. So that just, that just stacks on top of the conspiracy. Well, maybe they broke into that software system. It's just all horse shit. Just flat out.
problem ballot that jammed, say the problem ballot was number 24 out of 50, I wasn't allowed to touch any hardware at all. I would assist them, tell them to pull out this ballot, put the problem ballot on top.
Is that what IT
In Michigan, our ballots from the tabulators don't just drop into steel ballot boxes. They are now, as they got tabulated, they are now on top of the tabulating machine. Okay? So instead of them taking these, so say, let's keep it number 25 is the problem ballot, it got jammed. So the computer would throw an error. It would say ballot number 25, there's an error. I would say pull out ballot number 25, slowly pull it out, put it on top, take the ballots that had already been tabulated, which are on.
I'm sorry, does anybody know what the fuck she is talking about? I'm trying to follow along here, I really am, but I don't know what didn't she say she got hired as an IT worker? Now she's like organizing ballots with somebody?
Top of the tabulating machine now. Put them all back in a stack, discard the entire batch, and re-scan it. Instead of discarding, they were just rescanning, counting ballots 9 to 10 times, counting votes 9 to 10 times.
So they were counting the same ballot, the same vote.
Now, okay. We already know this is horse shit, but let's just think for a second that you are a poll worker, okay? And you're sitting there and you're watching people scan the same ballots over and over and over again. You at least have your phone. You at least have that. You could at least take a picture of it, or you could, maybe raise a stink like, hey, threatening democracy right over here. We have people that are doing illegal things right here. They just ran the ballots through 10 times. Like, that would be very easy to spot. And again, at the same time as they are running these ballots through, they have to be hacking into the poll book software to fudge that. So this is a very, Ocean's 11 style, authentic hacking situation we have going on here.
9 or 10 times?
Yes, sir. They were counting them 9
How many times did you observe that?
These machines would jam 2 to 3 times an hour. Each machine, there were approximately 22 to 24 tabulating machines in the TCF center. I observed it thousands of times.
Thousands of times? And how many were there 20 machines?
Thousands of times. You know how many? I'm just gonna let it play. You know how many times that would take all night? So it's
20,
all night.
22 to 24.
And were there any Republicans who were observing, or just Democrats?
I saw very few Republicans. About
what
3.
do Republicans look like?
How about those 20 machines? Did you see any of them observing those 20 machines where the ballot was being put in 10 or 20 times?
Big question. I got some of them questioning me. My manager had I had called my manager over to a specific tabulating machine. I showed him a number on it, which was close to 500. It should never go over 50. Ballots come in batches of 50.
Again, why aren't you raising why aren't you alerting someone, a boss, a manager, somebody, documenting this, recording it, taking, I don't know, voice notes or something? Instead, all we got is listen, Rudy, Uncle Rudy, come close, Uncle Rudy. I thought thousands of times, this many.
I said, we have a severe problem here. Nick, Autonomous, which is a part owner of Dominion. And he said, Melissa, I don't want to hear that we have a problem. He said, we are here to assist with IT. We are not here to run their election. That is exactly what he said to me. At that point, I was just really frustrated and upset. I could tell what was going on. I knew what was going on at that point.
What was going on?
Is that the Uper accent I think she's got there?
He was in on it. He was in on it.
Oh,
they were
okay.
all in on it.
You know
Well,
what?
everyone
They were
was
cheating.
in on it.
It was very, very apparent. It was apparent he knew. It was apparent that he was in on it. And when he caught on to me knowing that he was in on it,
We had to fight to the death. I won. I became a murderer that day. It was a dark day.
he
Or
just
something
wanted
like that.
nothing to do with me.
Now, did there come a time when 2 vans pulled up in the back
Yeah.
late at
Mic's a
night?
bit low? Okay.
Tell us
hold
about
on.
that.
Give me 1 second here. Check, check, check. How's that? Is that better? Do. In on one. In on one. How's that? Does that sound better? Do. Checkity, check. Walrus and penguins. Penguins and walruses.
Approximately 4 o'clock, the garage door of the TCF Center opened. The counting room in the TCF Center is in the basement. So when the garage door opened, a van pulled up. One on day shift, one on night shift. They were supposed to be for food because they were short on food for the.
This is the van food lady. If you guys don't remember, she was the one that said, "Well, clearly those vans didn't have food in them. They must have had thousands of ballots."
Workers. That's what they said over the microphone. That's what Daniel Baxter said. He said they had food for 1/3 of the workers, and that they would provide food and it would be there shortly.
Okay.
Well, food never came out of these vans.
Yes, what's your point of order, Representative?
Making claims, they should be under, we should have them under, what do you call it?
Oh.
Under oath.
Representative, we don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first sane remarks we've heard. By the way, 90% of what the lady, Melissa Carone, or whatever her name is, crazy lady, 90% of what she claims in this hearing was not in her affidavit. So therefore, like, it's not, like, she's not saying any of the stuff that she swore under oath. She's adding on to a bunch of it. So that's why that lady was saying, hey, we need to get these people under oath. Because everything that this crazy lady is saying, or 90% of it, is not stuff that she said under oath or in the affidavit. Which, it doesn't even really matter, because it's not like if you say stuff in an affidavit, they have to prove that you know you're lying for anything to really happen. So it's just kind of horseshit.
Representative, we're not going to do that. You're out of order. You're out of order, Representative. We don't do that here in Michigan. We've never done that.
I wrote an affidavit.
Mr. Chairman,
We're gonna move on.
she has an
And
affidavit.
Biden never has done.
She has an affidavit under oath.
Representative.
My man said these testimonies sound like 1-star Google reviews than accusations. That's funny.
Please continue, and if we could have fewer back and forth, and maybe you can tell your story. No, I'm talking with Mr. Giuliani.
Maybe we can have less of a shit show, and you can get this drunk lady to, I don't know, speak in complete sentences. That would be great. Thank you.
Giuliani, we really want to get through this, and this is sort of a format that is a little unusual to our committee. So if it's possible to tell a little more of your story, and I understand you're trying to speed it up, but we want to make sure we get through everything today, Mr. Giuliani.
All right. And reach them for your affidavit. That's your affidavit.
Sure.
Under oath.
So I have 19 things in my affidavit. I was at the
And the truth ain't one.
TCF Center for 27 hours. I'm a mother. I have 2 children, and
Okay.
I have 2 degrees. I'm very, I would.
Speaking of those degrees, you guys want to see something? We'll expose a few lies. I did a little Googling and Twittering before we started. So about those degrees, let's, is that the one? That's one with typos. Here's her LinkedIn. Okay, what's it say here? Associate's degree, Computer and Information Technology, 2016 to 2019, University of Michigan. Well, it turns out that the University of Michigan didn't give out any associate's degrees that year in that field. So, yeah. So she's clearly lying. Yeah. Oh, shit, where'd it go? There you go.
Would never, I don't know any woman in the world that would write an affidavit under oath just to write it. You know.
See, I'm pushing out the parlor right there. I don't know what this is, right side. If I was a right-wing network, there's no way I would even air this testimony.
You can go to prison for this. So anyways.
You should go to prison for this.
I want to make this very clear.
As she makes absolutely nothing clear. I want to make this very clear.
Initially supposed to work at the Detroit Department of
I know, right? Lying
building.
about an associate degree.
That was an order by my manager, Nick Economagounis.
Who and what it is?
Part owner of Dominion. I have it all in emails. I was trained on the adjudication and tabulation process.
She was trained in one day. So whatever you can do in 1 day.
In the email, it says you are to park in a parking lot and get shuttled over to this, they referred to it as the Chicago warehouse.
You don't have to air quotes that. That's just what they called it.
I know for a fact there was illegal activity going on there. People have pictures of people.
People have pictures. Hey, do you have any pictures? Well, no, I'm not people. I'm Melissa, the crazy lady. But people have pictures. Just in general, I guess? I don't know.
Carrying ballots out of that place. There is pictures of vans full of ballots coming out of that place.
Let's just take in for a second that this is the sitting president of the United States, star witness in his voter fraud case. This lady, like random drunk Karen 9003. I mean, everybody knows one of these ladies. This is like everybody's drunk aunt at Christmas. You know, oh, Tyler, you need to do something with your life, you know. Like, this is the star witness for the Trump administration. She has a speaking role right next to their $20,000 a day lawyer. And this is what we're getting. Just, I don't know if, like, that's really sunk in for everybody yet.
If it wasn't for my mother, I would have went there. My mom told me no way. You know, this sounds really weird.
Things, but,
and I have 2 young children, as I stated, that I needed access to my vehicle in case something happened. I ended up telling them that, and they said, okay, we'll put you at the TCF Center. Well, Samuel, there was 5 employees.
Yeah, she definitely put on glasses to look
permanent
smart.
Employees of Dominion, 2 contract employees. Me, a contract employee, and there was a 90-year-old man. Last name Smiley.
I don't know why the YouTube chat isn't showing up on the thing. You guys on Twitch are holding down the chat on screen, but yeah, I'd say Random Valley Girl on Valium is about accurate.
I have all of his paperwork. I have all their names, last names. 4 employees that were
Do you have any evidence of anything?
Scheduled to work in the city of Detroit that were not at the TCF Center were all at this Chicago warehouse, which was the election, the city election
Rudy.
department building. Anyways, so I also witnessed there was a point in the night where Samuel And
who the fuck is Samuel? Who are these people? Can anybody tell me who these people are?
Nick said that there was a big data loss. They started freaking out, stepped off the stage, got on their phones.
Okay.
I asked them what was going on. They said it was taken care of. Nick.
And I was like, this is totally cray. And they were like, no way. And I was like, way. And I was like, no way. And they were like, way. And I was like, cray. And then Jake came over and we totally went to third base.
Nick sent Samuel over to this warehouse for about 3 hours. When he got back, I said, where were you? Where'd you go?
Like, where did you go, though?
He said, I was at the warehouse. And I said, what were you doing there? And he's like, you know, nothing. They just needed my help. Well, I said, where is this warehouse? And he said, because I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together yet, that I, you know, was initially.
Well, I think that's a fucking accurate statement if I ever heard one. I still don't think you're putting 2 and 2 together.
Supposed to work there because I never even looked up the address. And what I believe is it wasn't a data loss. It was actually when they found out Trump was ahead 100,000 votes.
Did we hear that key word? What I believe is that they totally made up this crazy conspiracy theory that I saw on Facebook. You know, that's just what I believe. I have a feeling.
And they sent Nick over there to assist with these ballots that came in these vans full of ballots that people can attest to, that they witnessed being carried out of these vans at the TCF Center. I didn't see any ballots being carried out of vans. I'm not going to lie. I didn't.
Wait, what? Hold on, what? Wait.
In these vans full of ballots that people can attest to, that they witnessed being carried out of these vans at the TCF Center. I didn't see any ballots being carried out of vans. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see.
There's people that saw these ballots get carried out of these vans, and they can attest to it. But I didn't see any ballots get carried out. Who are these people? Like, what? Like, you just made that up. You just totally made that up. That you saw people. Like, I don't even know what. You're hurting my head.
See anything being carried out of them, but I know people who have and did see this occurring. But I also witnessed the adjudication process. Numerous adjudicators machines were.
We're adjudicating the adjudication, and then we adjudicated over to the adjudicator and did some adjudication.
All the ballots were being judged by 2 Democrats. I heard them talking. One woman said to another woman, "Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat?" She said, "I'm a Democrat." And she said, "Well, so am I. Let's sit together." Sat together all night judging ballots.
We can be besties. Let's sit together and let's do some fucking fraud.
You know, I mean, thousands of ballots got judged.
Anybody who's at least my age will remember, like, you know, like Can't Hardly Wait and like them early 2000s, like, you know, teen comedies. Like, she talks like every mean girl in every one of those movies. Like, you know, the popular girl who's like, "Oh my God, you're disgusting."
All night by the reason the rule's there is so, you know, it can be a fair process. It wasn't a fair process. It wasn't a fair process at all. And
totally right.
The tabulating problem with them running numerous ballots through these tabulators and just continuing to do
it is pretty sad, Paul. It is sad, but it's hilarious too at the same time.
And he came up to me and said, he was working the night shift. He came up to me and said, "Melissa, we did not get any training at all. None." He goes, "I have no idea what I'm doing." He was with 3 other people.
Well, that might be the first true statement. I don't think these people get a lot of training, but again, that doesn't prove fraud. But you know, okay. Where are these guys, by the way, who said they didn't get any training? Can we talk to them? Maybe they would have something good to say.
I said, I just told my manager that. I said, I could tell you guys don't know what you're doing. And he said, nope, we were trained on the adjudication process, not the tabulation process. And I said, so you don't know what you're doing? And he said, nope. I said, great, that's just great.
Alicia's clueless all
nobody
the way.
was helping me. I was, you know, running around assisting these people all night long. And it was all day and all night. It was crazy. And they were running these ballots through with...
I was at my job, guys, and I was doing work like all day long and all night because apparently when I'm on my job, they want me doing the thing that I'm getting paid for. It was nuts.
Without discarding them countless times. There were so many ballots that ran through these tabulators numerous times.
Again, I kind of understand what she's trying to say, but she's not making any sense. I mean, I think we can all whatever 40 something of us here, I think we can all agree on that she's not making any fucking sense. And I don't think anybody here is following anything. But I just love the lack of total like evidence of anything or any like data points or like, you know, PowerPoints or anything. Like this is just like water cooler gossip is all this is. And again, President of the United States, star witness.
I mean, without any oversight at all. I mean, there's so much. This election, I will say, these Democrats took every avenue possible to commit fraud in this election, and what I saw on the 3rd and 4th was over 20 counts of fraud being taking place in front of my...
Hold on, you said thousands a little while ago. You said thousands of counts. Now it's 20?
Base. And this isn't counting,
you
know, the ballots that are found in rivers, the ballots found under rocks, the ballots, you know, that ended up...
Fucking citation needed? Rivers, rock... Did anyone find ballots under rocks? And or a river?
Representative, please. Representative,
okay.
Do you have a
the
point
same
of order?
lady's talking.
What's your point of order?
You want to say.
Do you have a point of order, Representative?
She's just... This is funny.
All right. Ma'am, please continue.
Yeah, so,
And also, by the way, I mean, can you maybe speak to your experience? I know we've heard stories of ballots being thrown in rivers, but I want to make sure we're speaking to your experience because we have limited time and we got to get our questions in and the other witnesses. So is there more to your experience? And then...
Well, okay, I called the FBI.
This guy is being way too nice. I know he's a Republican and everything, but man, the rope he has given this lady. Can you maybe speak to your experience, or like, I don't know, maybe say anything that's fucking logical and give us like some data evidence? Like, you have piles of papers, a computer. Rudy had his porn machine over there a second ago. Like, can we see anything?
Okay. On the 8th, November 8th, I talked to 2 separate women over...
Oh, by the way, let's, you guys want to see some of this lady's, social media? This was a pretty good meme.
Voters
are
on
man to know what a man likes.
I thought...
I gotta go pee. I want to know
it's completely
Yo,
off.
where's that thing?
Completely
Where's the thing?
off.
Where's the catheter
That
thing?
poll...
But anyway, all right, that's not what... But here's some of this lady's social media. This is November 14th. But Biden won. LOL, this is awesome. We will get hashtag 4 more years. Like it or not, BTW Lansing is packed too. I am here and I will be posting on it later today. So, yeah, that's one post. Oh, not Trump 2020 hat. Another, she's just a Trump sycophant. Well, that's literally all she is. All right, we'll get back to that in a minute. But yeah, no, she's just batshit.
40 minutes. The first
She's
one
straight
gave her
up
all
just,
my information.
Trump supporter.
The phone was seriously cut out.
This is nothing more. Like they're literally just picking people out of crowds if they said, they experienced fraud or they saw fraud. Like that's all this is. This lady, like this is their shot to be a star. Be the shining Republican that saves the world for the QAnon movement. That's what these people are doing. That they're taking a shot to be, famous on social media for the conservatives. If she was able to have like some blockbuster moment, even though she failed miserably. But that's all these people are doing, and it's kind of sad, but whatever. It's entertaining.
And she never called me back. I was waiting for her to call me back. She never called me back. I had to call them back, and they never called me back. Never got a call back. Still haven't got a call back. And I had somebody else working on it that has a neighbor that's an old FBI agent, and still haven't heard back from that.
Can I ask you just one last question?
Sure.
Melissa? So how many ballots would you estimate in front of you that you observed were counted multiple times in the machine? Can you put a number to it, an estimated number?
I'd say at least 50-11.
At least 30,000.
At least 30,000.
Now think about that. She personally witnessed 30,000 ballots get like recounted. Like how long would that take? That would be basically. I mean, I don't know exactly how the process works, but I know it's it's slow process and it takes hundreds of people. So if she's watching, several people, that would take like all night. Only, I think it was 3 million votes in all of Michigan. She saw 30,000 in just the one location she was at, even though it was Detroit, I think it was. So, man, that literally from start to finish, she was just seeing fraud.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. And I guess I'll
Right,
ask
yeah.
a question.
Yeah, it basically is the OJ case, but for the wrong reasons.
I just want to understand. So
We all do, sir. We all do.
What is your role with Dominion? Can you clarify that?
She's 1099. What do you call that? Independent contracted employee that got hired 2 days before and got training for 1 day. That's what she is.
My role with Dominion was to assist with IT for the election.
So are you you're some kind of contract employee?
I was a contract employee, yes.
Okay, of what?
We call that 1099,
organization?
independent contractor, throwaway employees.
Who did, so were you were like a
Unfortunately.
contract employee of Dominion, or was there some
So I have my
contractor?
resume everywhere,
Yeah.
and
What the fuck does that mean? Were you contracted with Dominion? Yeah, I have my resume everywhere. It's at Subway. It's at Chanel. Yeah, I ended up in Dominion. Lady, can you just answer a question?
because I was laid off from Ford.
Mhm.
So they just found my resume and called me and said, do you want to work the election, the 3rd and the 4th?
I see, but you were employed directly by Dominion.
Did Dominion pay me? No. PDS staffing paid me.
Okay.
Because they called me.
I would almost bet she got hired by like I only looked into this a little bit, but I would almost bet she got hired by like, some kind of third party who does like like bulk hiring for things like elections or like catering. I used to work with a company that kind of did stuff like that. Like you go to them and they can bring you like 20 employees because they have like, a list of people for. I would almost say she did something like that. I bet you she didn't even like contact Dominion whatsoever.
But I was working for Dominion, yes.
Okay.
Something very, very suspicious too, must I add, that we were not allowed to wear name tags at all. We were not allowed to talk about who we worked for. They were very secret.
I work for Dominion. We weren't allowed to talk about who we work for.
They didn't want anybody knowing anything about them.
And so I just want to make sure I understand you correctly.
Your
So
escort ad is not a
you said you're alleging that you heard or that you witnessed.
Wait. Speaking of that, speaking of escort ad, not an escort ad, but oh no, wrong way. Look who wanted to be an actress. Oh, Melissa Carone, age 31, gender female, city Detroit, petite, ethnicity Mediterranean. Bitch, no you're not. You're just an average white girl from Detroit. Yeah, this is her exploretalent.com profile. So, looks a little more different there. But yeah, look who wanted to be an actress. Evil Hollywood. Everybody that calls Hollywood evil for some reason wants to fucking be in Hollywood. Seems weird.
Witnessed ballots being put in the machine, run through, counted, and then put through again? Is that what you're alleging?
Without discarding. That is what I am telling you to be a.
No, it's not an escort ad. It's like a talent agency. It's like for actors. That's what that was. But it would have been pretty epic if she did have an escort ad. But I feel like a sad attempt at an acting ad gig, like an acting profile, is pretty damn close. That's pretty funny, especially for people that are like, "Oh, evil Hollywood elites."
Fact.
And how many times did you witness this happening?
I witnessed it in a 27-hour period, thousands and thousands of times.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And I will note, Dominion won't come before this committee. I've asked them.
Yeah, same difference.
And so far they've refused. And I do.
Yeah, why would they come before your committee? There's absolutely no evidence of them doing anything. Hey, Angie, you need to show up next week to a hearing at the Wyatt down the street because you killed somebody. If you don't show up, you must be a murderer. Like, that's not how shit works. You have to have evidence. Dominion has made statements. They've issued statements on these on all these allegations. It's all bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. So why would they waste their time at this hearing?
Want them to come before this committee because we need answers from them about how their machines work. So we're going to continue.
By the way, if you guys could like the stream while you're here, really
I'll go to Representative
That'd be awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I
just like the stream, guys. Just like it like thousands and thousands of times. Just like it.
Am not sure how I'm going to do this with one question, but I'm going to try my best anyway. So, with these tabulator machines, of which you estimate there are approximately 22 to 24, I guess I'm not understanding. So, you place batches of 50 on top?
Me neither, LaFave. Me neither. I'm also not understanding.
Of the machine.
Thanks for the subscribe. For the subscription.
We're gonna look. I'm gonna try to explain it to you as if it's a printer. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So.
I'm gonna explain to you like you're a printer, and I'm paper.
Well, a printer. When the papers come out of the printer, that's where in these tabulators, that's where you would feed the 50 in. Okay. Now, on top of the printer, right? So where the scanner would be, right? If it's like a 4-in-1, right? So that's where these ballots would come out after they had been tabulated, okay? So if one jammed, number 25 jammed, right? then it would put up an error. Discard, rescan. Ballot number 25 has an issue. So they would then take all the ballots that had been tabulated from the top, right? That are now on the top. The 24, they're on the top. The ones that are on the bottom that haven't been tabulated yet, okay? And number 25, the problem ballot, they would put number 25 on top. They would discard the entire batch, and then they would rescan it. Instead of discarding it, they would rescan them, counting those 24.
Do you see the guy in the back doing this like he actually knows what the fuck she's talking about? Again, I think what she's trying to say is that they would get an error on one and try to run them all back through. It's basically what she's saying, which is impossible because, again, the software, the poll book, if you are anytime somebody who is registered to vote, which you have to be obviously to vote, anytime somebody is run through that machine, it pops up. Bam. Okay. Johnny Johnson from 123 Street has voted. Okay. Even if they run it through again, it'll pop back up. Bam, Johnny Johnson, 123 Street, has now shown up twice. They have gone through the poll book and software, and that is not the case. And I'm pretty sure that comes up. We've all seen that clip, I'm pretty sure, or most of us have, that comes up later in the thing. And the Republican explains to her that, hey, we are not seeing this with the poll book. So what she is stating is just, it's impossible. And unless you didn't have to say that the poll workers are working with an outside, person, or Hugo Chavez's ghost, or whatever the fuck, to change the software at the same time they're running votes through twice. It's just not possible. There's a collection of all the votes, and we see who voted. And these people are, if what she was saying was true, these people would show up hundreds of times. The same person would show up hundreds of times, or at least dozens of times, and it's just not the case. These people are accounted for, and voting in Detroit, the TCF Center, basically whatever county Detroit is, they had about the same amount of voters as they did 4 years ago. I think it was within 3%. So it's not some big jump. It's basically the same. It's a little bit more. It's just not possible.
Again. Okay. Now, let's say it was out of 50, number 48 that jammed. That's 47 being counted again. I'm just using you know what I'm saying? So
I'm just making
does that
shit
clarify
up.
that? Okay.
It does. And basically you put batches of 50 in until you're done with that precinct. Right?
That's what they would do, yes. But a lot of these
Damn, we got over 50 people in here. That's
workers,
what's up. All right. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Coming to the stream.
They would get a batch of 50, and then they wouldn't get another batch for like 10 minutes. So then the ballot box was behind them, the steel ballot box. So they would have this batch of 50 in front of them for 10 minutes with no oversight. So they would run them through again with no oversight. They just had no idea what was going on. And if they did know what was going on, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, right? So I'm saying they have no idea what's going on. Who knows? They did. I have no idea.
That was helpful.
Oh, that's the first truthful thing. She definitely has no idea. Again, this just is not possible.
My friend said.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative C.A. Johnson. You're on our list. Did you have a question? Okay. Representative Camilleri.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for
yeah,
your testimony.
why I wouldn't even dignify this.
Going back to the ruling from Judge Timothy Kenny, he writes that your description of the events at the TCF Center does not square with any other affidavits. He says that there are.
Oh yeah, her testimony was already back on the 13th, because I don't if you guys remember, they trotted her out, about a month ago or whatever, a couple weeks ago, and she came out with the van story and the food and all that, and that was when a judge said she was not credible. Let's understand. Okay. Republican challengers filed lawsuit to try and stop the certification of Detroit's election results. On Friday, a Wayne County Circuit Court Judge Timothy Kinney denied their motion. Judge Kinney said the plaintiff's witnesses did not understand the ballot tabulation process and, quote, no formal challenges were filed. And how understand the process? Where's the thing he said about here? Thompson. As election workers. Oh, here's what she had to say. We are not claiming fraud just to claim fraud. This is what she said. We are not claiming fraud just to claim fraud. I am sorry. That is what Democrats would do, said Melissa Carone, who worked at the TCF assisting with IT during the election. Carone signed an affidavit in the suit claiming that she saw ballots counted multiple times. And basically, Thomas says numerous steps would be. I think this is one of the election guys. Thomas says if that happened, there are numerous steps where it would be caught either immediately or by the board of canvassers. If you put a batch of 50 ballots in 8 times to come up in at 400 ballots, that counting board is going to be way off. There's going to be a lot more votes than there are people in the book. That kind of error, if it occurred, would be instantly caught, said Thomas. And then of course she brings up, Trump warned us about all of this. He said this was all going to happen with these mail-in ballots, and it all did, said Carone. And this is the thing he said about them not. Thomas said he believes the people who submitted affidavits may have good intentions, but did not interpret what they were seeing correctly. He is calling on them to get more involved in future elections. The parties under law are allowed to nominate election inspectors, he says. They should undergo training and become partisan election inspectors. Get involved. It is hard to come in at the last minute and judge what all these people who have been trained are doing. You really need to step up and get involved. Get back the next election, be an inspector, said Thomas. Basically saying, listen here, you dumb bitch. You don't know what you're talking about. Next year, or next time the election comes around, you need to go there, observe, and understand what's going on. Personally, I don't think she wants to know what's going on. I just think she wants to, have her moment in the sun. But, this is the judge explaining that she is not credible, 3 weeks ago or whatever. Hence why this was at a public hearing and not at a courtroom.
I'm speaking.
Please,
Thank you.
let's let the representative finish, and then you can.
He writes that there are no other reports of lost data or tabulating machines that jammed repeatedly every hour during the count. He also writes that neither Republican nor Democratic challengers nor city officials substantiate your version of these events. The allegations simply are not credible, is what Judge Kinney writes. So my question for you is, you're making claims here today that there's systematic fraud in what's going on.
I mean, and that's really the whole ball game. You had your day in court, you laid out your case, and the judge, several judges at this point, have deemed everything you said not credible. And that's why, you keep seeing like these you see a video or some kind of, eyewitness testimony that all these Republicans and all these QAnon people are sharing. It's like, dude, if you get something in the court, if you get some kind of evidence and you bring it to a court and they even entertain it, then I'll look at it and maybe I'll take it a little more seriously. But if you're getting laughed out of court on every single front, like, I'm only going to look into it just to solely make fun of it. I'm not taking any of this seriously as long as you're getting kicked out of court on every single turn. I'm only looking into it because I make content about it. Other than that, it's a fucking joke.
our elections. Are the courts also tied up in that fraud?
Let me tell you what I did by accident, okay? I gave Channel 7 an interview that they tied in to
and that apparently made me not credible?
And made me the witness that's uncredible. Guess what? There's going to be a couple behind me that are going to say the same thing I just said. And
The witness before you was also proven not credible as well by the same
she
judge.
wasn't, because
She was.
she wasn't even there.
Representative Camilleri.
Yeah, exactly. The witness before you was proven not credible. And if a couple people are going to come behind you and say it, why didn't they say it in court? This was on the 13th. I mean, this is basically 3 weeks ago. Why didn't we get this bombshell testimony then?
Let's let her finish, please.
First time.
So I just want to understand. Now I don't know what exactly all the things that are being talked about there are, but can you tell us
she don't
what
know
you
what she's
said
counting.
today is the truth? Is that correct?
Sir, I wrote a written affidavit.
Written. If somebody just can't say yes on something like that, you know they're fucking shot out. But whatever.
Yes, it is 100% true.
Okay. And did other
110.
people observe this?
Absolutely. And behind me, you're going to hear a couple.
Okay. And we'll hear
And
from them.
let me just
hopefully.
state this: I was an IT worker on the stage.
For a day.
I was working with Dominion. I
Kind
had
of.
no poll workers were not allowed on the stage.
Yeah.
The data loss, nobody would have heard about that besides me, Samuel, and Nick. Okay? Just like nobody knows that Samuel went to the Chicago warehouse besides me because I worked for Dominion. They didn't.
Yeah, that's basically the claim, Sean. Is she's basically saying that they just kind of they would rerun a batch if one got an error. So if they ran a batch and one came up as bad, instead of just running that one, they would run the whole batch back through. But again, that's impossible because of the poll book and everything else that goes along with it. You would have massive amounts of overvotes. It would be way off. It's just not possible. What she's stating is just not possible.
They're not going to hear that part. You know what I mean? The poll workers are not going to know that Samuel. They're not even going to know who he is. You know.
I don't
they're not
fucking
gonna
know who he
that
is either.
Went to
And
the
I'm pretty sure you don't know.
warehouse.
Can you? I think what
I think Samuel might be your
Representative Camilleri is
ex-boyfriend
asking
or something.
is perhaps why is it that more people, and I know we have a couple here today, but why is it that we're not having more people come forward? I mean, it seems like if there
I'll
was
tell
all
you
this
why.
widespread fraud, that we'd have dozens and dozens of people.
I'll tell you why. My life has been destroyed. My life has been completely destroyed because of this. I've lost family. I've lost friends. I've been threatened. My kids have been threatened. I've had to move. I've had to change my phone number. I've had to get rid of social media. Nobody.
Oh, really? Is that so? Well, let's just, Oh, what's that? Is that your Facebook profile? With your Fox Business interview as the back picture? Or whatever you call this. I don't know what you call this picture. And your profile picture is the picture of you and Rudy before this fucking hearing started? And or after. Whatever. Either way, you completely lied. You didn't get rid of social media. By the way, let's take a gander at our social media while we're here. Oh, pictures of boxes. Oh, here's her cover photo updated yesterday. Oh, there's another one updated yesterday. Oh, here we are again, her and Rudy. Her and this fucking lady. Trump team hits back. Look, look at all that 619 interactions. I bet she wasn't getting that before the other day. Missing context. Yeah, you think? 1.1k likes. I got a fact check under it. Rudy. Oh, look, another video about her thing. Another horseshit story. Oh, look, her other appearance or whatever. Oh, Joe Biden. Look, let's just say. What a joke. Clearly, Time magazine isn't credible. What a shock. These people are in for. What a shock these people are in for. I read it wrong. That was 4 days ago. So apparently Time magazine, to Miss Star Witness, is not credible for just saying, hey, Joe Biden's going to be the next president because, I don't know, he won the election. So, 5 days ago, the taken out of context video, like, she's straight up just a QAnon person. She's the QAnon wine mom that I always talk about. This is exactly what she is. Her and this odd-looking fella here. Yep, you know. So, what was that about you deleting your social media? Yeah, that's what I thought. Fucking boob.
He wants to come forward. They're getting threatened. Their lives are getting ruined. I can't even get an actual job anymore. I can't.
What the fuck
because
are you
Democrats like
except
to ruin
working
your
for
life.
the Trump campaign?
That's why.
All right. Let's.
Yay! Subvert democracy! Yay! Let's live in a dictatorship! Yay!
Just like they do to Trump.
Let's move on to Representative Steve Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Obviously, these allegations are very troubling.
People are giving wine a bad name.
My question here: if these ballots were run through multiple times, as you've alleged, I think you said possibly up to 30,000 times, definitely thousands of times being counted. When we examine,
that's just state for the record. This guy right here is a Republican, GOP, tried and true.
In the poll book and see who voted, and we count those numbers.
Yeah.
Would they then not line up with the total number of votes coming out of Detroit?
The poll book is completely off. Completely off.
Off by 30,000?
I'd say that poll book is off by over 100,000. That poll.
Citation needed. You know, we can look at it, right? Like, we can see it. It's available data. I'd say that poll book is off by a bajillion dollars.
Poll book? Why don't you look at the registered voters on there? How many registered voters are on there?
Young Lex Luthor, yeah.
Do you even know the answer
Solid
to that?
reference.
No, I guess I'm trying to get to the bottom of this here.
Zero. There's zero.
So.
Zero, okay, loser. L7 square. Goodbye. This poor guy's just trying to ask questions. This Republican congressman is just trying to ask simple questions, and he's getting the, hey, loser, treatment.
My question then is if the...
Guess how many, wait, what about the turnout rate? 120%?
Nope, not true. Let's bust that myth real quick. Let's see. What is it? Michigan's largest city. Blah, blah, blah. Likewise, Detroit's turnout increased by a mere 2,000 votes from 2016. On Thursday before the election, Detroit clerk Janice Winfrey predicted turnout would increase to 50% from 48.6 in 2016. But that's not enough. The Democrat clerk said at a news conference last week, the city's turnout finished at 49.6. Trump performed better in Detroit this year than he did 4 years ago. His percentage of votes went from 3% to 5%, and the president received almost 5,000 more votes than 4 years ago, according to the city's unofficial results. Because this is like from 2 weeks ago. But by the way, this Janice Winfrey, she's a Republican. So this whole 120, like, when they say stuff like this, like, it almost, it makes my head explode, because how big of a scandal and how big of a story would it be if, like, any county in Michigan, if a county had 120% turnout? That would be nationwide news. It would be plastered on every screen. Everybody would be talking about it because it would be a huge story. If you got 20% more 20% more votes than people that are registered, that would be crazy. And it would be, we would have like 5 special counsels investigating it, because it would clearly indicate serious fraud. But no, that's not what happened, because we can't even get the people that are alive and are of age and are registered to vote. With everything going on, the most important election of our life, or whatever, everything on the line, 50% of the people that are registered to vote voted. So not even, let's not, forget the tons of people that aren't even registered, but people that actually decided to go get registered, 50% of them voted in Detroit. But yet, these people, this lady, including the President of the United States, are out here talking about 120% turnout. They rigged the election. Like, it's just so mind-blowingly stupid. Like, I can't. I couldn't imagine saying something like that and actually believing it. Like, I don't know how you get there.
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question.
So the poll book number, there's 2 things that could happen here. Either the poll book number,
exactly, Paul.
If ballots from multiple.
Exactly, Paul. Rudy's looking like the sane one here right now.
Times there's 2 options. Option number 1,
you guys are talking
is
about
that the
getting
poll
your
book
drink
numbers
on,
are not going to match.
They don't.
The actual. Not by thousands and thousands of votes. That's not what we see right now.
Take a look again. Take a look again.
Option number 2 is that they essentially were filling in names of people who didn't vote.
Dead people too?
But is that?
Let's let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then when
I
he's
thought that
done,
was his answer. Okay.
Well, make sure you guys like the stream while you're here.
Why we're not seeing the poll book off by
really
30,000 votes? That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
Do something crazy to it? Okay, let's back that up a little bit.
Let Representative Johnson ask his question, and then when
I
he's
thought that
done,
was his answer. Okay.
Well, I guess that's my question here is why we're not seeing the poll book off by 30,000 votes. That's not the case.
What did you guys do? Take it and do something crazy to it?
Again, the president's star witness, when presented with facts, undisputable facts, accuses the Republican congressman that's questioning her of doing something crazy to it. Like, it's so terrible that this is where we're at. But, I mean, train wrecks are fun, so whatever. At least we get some entertainment out of it.
I'm just saying the numbers are not off by 30,000 votes. So
I know what I
saying
saw.
That they're filling in?
I know what I saw, and I signed something saying that if I'm wrong, I can go to prison. Did you?
And my dad can totally beat up your dad, so whatever, you're poor. I bet you eat a sandwich for lunch. I eat chili.
Okay,
I'm just trying to ask you a legitimate question here.
Yeah,
okay, we're dangerously entering shit show
ask his
territory.
question, and then
let's back
don't
up.
interrupt him. And then if you want to respond to it, that's fine. And did you have more, Representative?
I guess I just want to keep following back up with the poll book. So are we saying that the poll book is either wildly off, or that they are filling in names?
It's wildly off, and dead people voted, and illegals voted.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
I think we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Representative.
And citation needed, and citation needed. Oh, and citation fucking needed on any of that. But, yeah.
LeGrand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, ma'am, can I ask you a simple question?
Sure.
When did you
where do you get your drugs and how much?
Convey the narrative. When did you communicate substantially the narrative that you've given us today? At what do you recall the date that you gave that to the Trump legal team, to Mr. Giuliani and the woman sitting next to him?
To Mr. Giuliani,
To the team.
woman sitting next to him.
I'm working with a different attorney.
Well, they're here with you now, and they heard your story, and it's not the first time they heard it.
Like, my attorney is a secret. He's a secret attorney, and his name is George Glass. That's his name. He's a secret Superman, super secret man.
When did you tell them?
All right, I'm gonna get stuck talking like that.
Giuliani.
Pardon? I'm not asking you to finesse here. I'm asking you when did.
These guys are just being so nice. They're just like, lady. I just want a straight answer. Please. Can you give me a straight answer? Anything.
Did you tell them the narrative that you're telling us now?
When did I write my first affidavit? November 8th.
Thank you. That's a great place to start. Thanks.
Right.
All right.
But does that answer your question? Because
I think it does.
It was sent to Lauren McLaughlin.
I don't think he cares.
I don't know.
I think we're good here.
Got it.
We'll move on. So thank you, Representative LeGrand.
For the record, I met her for the first time today and talked to her for the first time yesterday.
If you're saying the affidavit.
Wait, hold on. Hey, for the record, I don't know this bitch. Okay, that's what just happened right there. That's what we just. For the record, if it pleases the court, that isn't a court. I don't know this bitch. I just met her, even though she's like my Facebook profile now.
David is essentially consistent with testimony today, and that was submitted on November 8th. That's great. That's what I wanted to know.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Rudy, just shut up,
His statement was, I think his statement was, if the affidavit matches the testimony today, you're good. Is that what you said?
Of course it matches it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right. With that, I think we'll move on to our next person, if that's all right. Thank you for your testimony today.
Yeah. Man, what a shit show. But yeah, that was that. So, real quick, let's I want to show you. So you know how Sidney Powell, she's been releasing the Kraken with all these typoed lawsuits and all that shit. Let's let our brains unmelt from all that shit real quick. But she's got all these devastating lawsuits in the works, and they're about to really kick things into high gear. Let's see, where's it at? Okay, so here's what her lawsuit in Wisconsin has to say. While the caption of the motion includes the word emergency and attached proposed orders to seek an expedited injunction, neither the motion nor the proposed order indicate whether the plaintiffs are asking the court to act more quickly or why. Pamela Pepper, Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Wisconsin, wrote in an order issued on Wednesday, as indicated, the motion does not request a hearing. It does not propose a briefing schedule. So, in Sidney Powell's lawsuit in Wisconsin, basically, I don't want to read the whole thing, but basically, they're not even asking for a hearing. Like, it's basically nothing. It's just words on a piece of paper that don't really mean anything. And she included a bunch of people that apparently didn't even know they were included in the lawsuit, but that's a different story for another day. But yeah, so that's Sidney Powell. That's what she's got going on. But yeah, wow. Let's see what the hell just happened? The hell? Why is I don't know what just happened to Is my internet running slow? Not sure. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty interesting. So, yeah, so that's the bat shit that we're dealing with right now. As you can see, that I wish I was hallucinating. Yeah. Any I don't know, you guys, any questions? We got a few people in here. We can shoot the shit for a minute if y'all want to. Why not? Fuck it. I mean, I just can't. Like, I don't know. I guess just as somebody, and I know a couple, you guys, I know a couple of you guys are, older and just have been around and watching politics, involved in politics for a while. Like, the level of shit show we've gone from 2016 to 2020. 2016, we weren't in no picnic. We had a lot of shit wrong. We need to do a lot of changes. Especially me, I think we need a lot more progressive policy, and we need to go in a different direction. But the decay of the Republican Party over the last 4 years is just holy shit, man. Like, we're just in cuckoo land. Just officially. We're not, this isn't a matter of just policy. It's not like, oh, well, they have some policies I agree with, but, they're good people. It's like they're fucking insane. At this point, like, what is my name? Tim is my name. Driven Progressive is my birth name. Driven P Progressive. No, my name is Tim or Timothy, Timmy, whatever you want to call me. Timmy. Been like a TV, exactly. The last 4 years, like House of Cards, is basically what the Republican Party is like now. Like, I just see Kevin Spacey and the whole, I don't know if any of you guys watch House of Cards. It was a really good show until, whatever, all this shit happened with Kevin Spacey. But that's basically what the Republican Party is, just like a freak show of like crazy TV events, Like, we got a pilled out lady up here talking about running ballots through a machine, and then when they're like, well, that's not actually possible, she's like, well, maybe you did something to it. I don't even think we're in the upside down anymore, Jack. I think we're past the upside down. They will eat their own at the same point, but still vote for the same people they just ate. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, I would say about 2010 is when the Tea Party started, really gaining ground. And they were the first. I mean, they weren't the first, but they were like the real batshit, like, man, look at these guys, they're crazy. Now Tea Party people like Jim Jordan, and Ted Cruz, I think he was a Tea Party guy. They're like they're like the leadership. Jim Jordan was like second in line to be Speaker of the House, or Republican leader in the House. Those were the crazies just 10 years ago. And now you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert. I mean, we're in crazy town. And that's like, I'm trying to get, I have them discussions with other TikTokers and stuff. I want to get like some moderate, like, Republican TikTokers on to talk about, like, hey, how do we fix your side? Because it's not just about policy anymore. Like, I don't agree with you guys on policy, but y'all got to do something about the batshit people. Like, that's what needs to be your focus. Like, you need to pull your crazies out, because a couple of them have messaged me about the QAnon stuff and gotten like all my research on like the fall of the cabal debunk. Like, I sent that to them because they have, on their TikTok following, they have, people that are into Q and they try to push back on it, but even though they're not into Q, they still have people that are, constantly talking to them about it, and they're trying to push back on them. So I want to get some, because, I don't know, we're just going to crazy town. Maybe I should look at some of these things. Ivanka is next. Seriously, hope that doesn't come true. You talking about like running? Ivanka running? It looks like Ivanka might be turning on her dad, according to news reports. I doubt that's true, but two-party system is broken when the election can't be trusted. It will be the end of the country as we know it. Yeah, that's the thing. Is Trump has put he's seriously thrown a wrench into the trusting the election process. And just at this point, if you don't agree with Trump, they want you in jail. Like the election was rigged, and I keep looking at this camera, but it's this camera. The election was rigged, and Trump should have won. And if you don't believe that, you need to be in jail. That's where they're at. I mean, they were calling for Brian Kemp to be locked up. Brian Kemp is probably the most pro-Trump governor in all the 50 states. I can't think of one that's more pro-Trump than Brian Kemp. Yet, they're calling for him to be jailed. That's scary. That's the kind of shit you should get scared about. Like, these people are on another level. Ivanka for jail. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, they got Martha Stewart. Why not Ivanka? I think he's gonna try. He's gonna try and do some like slick pardon shit, because like a lot of these DAs, especially in DC and New York, they're gonna want to make a name off locking up Trump if they can. But I mean, I don't know. That's gonna be easier said than done, but we'll see. Hippy Dippy Podcast on YouTube this week. Twitch political streamers. Some I recognize from TikTok. There. Hippy Dippy. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. That sounds familiar. Is that who runs that? There's like 7 people. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm gonna do something for the Georgia runoff on the 5th, January 5th. Oh, hold on. Yeah, why I got y'all here. I totally forgot. Tomorrow night, I'm doing an interview with a guy from the New York Times. Hold on, let me go back to my live scene here. Let me show you guys something. I can't believe I totally forgot this. Oh, that's right. It's fucking up. That's why. I don't know what. Hold on 1 second. Let me clear all this shit out. I don't know why. All right, whatever. Okay, we'll leave it alone. I think I ran into too much. What the fuck? I think my bit rate might be too high. That's why it's fucking up like that. But anyway, tomorrow night, if any of you guys ever heard of Kirby Ferguson, Remix Everything, he's done a lot of good QAnon documentaries about. He did a piece with the New York Times. Anyway, he's really good. He does some really good work. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna have him on. Well, not tomorrow afternoon, 5 o'clock Central. I'm gonna have him on for an interview. We're just gonna talk about Q. How do we go from here? Just I think it'll be a really good conversation. I really like his content. So yeah, it should be pretty good. I mean, if you guys like my content, you'll definitely like his. So I would say mark your calendars. That's tomorrow night. And then I'm going to do another, a little TikTok discussion with some other TikTokers night after that. So, yeah. By the way, thanks for the subscription, Ding. I don't know if you're still here. I thought you I didn't realize that was a Twitch subscription. I really appreciate that. I thought you were just subscribing on YouTube. You went the extra mile. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna have RC Dubs on He was supposed to come on the other night, but he had like some work. But yeah, Ghost. I want to reach out to Ghost too. I'm gonna have I've talked to, do you guys know I Eat Plutocrats or I Eat Plutocrats, something like that? I Eat Plutes. Younger girl. She's got like 200K followers. She's gonna come on. She's actually she's doing some stuff in college. She's, I don't know whatever you call it. She's doing some kind of paper about QAnon. So she was watching my content. I reached out to her. So we're gonna have a chat. Probably that'll be towards the middle of the month. Yeah, I can see the comments. I got occupied for a second. Network flying Trump flags. Cult. Yep. Why can't a third-party candidate debate with the other two? Just, I think, I mean, you're right, the fix is in, but, I mean, it wouldn't matter anyway, I don't think. In my opinion, a third party will never be relevant in at least our lifetime, if ever in America, just for the simple fact that it takes so much infrastructure to be a viable party. I mean, you see Republicans and Democrats can barely get anything done, even though, they have so many PACs and lobbyists and House members, Senate, they have a whole infrastructure, and they still can't get things done. Ross Perot. Yeah, I know you're talking. Yeah, well, Ross Perot, actually, I think he got like 16% of the vote. That was the first election I really remember. My TikTok is... Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I know you and was it Doge King? You guys have been in pretty much every live stream I've ever had. The new GA clips. I wanted to do more, but I don't know my I don't know if my... I think my computer's at too high of a bit rate. When I tried to log back on and pull up on my screen, it wouldn't come up. So I'm just going to answer a few questions and then pop out. I'm going to be live again tomorrow night, though. I might go live a little early and do some stuff. Did I read the comment above mine? Yeah, okay, I just saw that. Yeah, I wanted to watch some more clips, but my thing was fucking up. I don't know what was going on. Like, when I tried to pop back on to look at some more stuff, like, my internet was running slow. You can call it now. He might... Well, Trump will just grift the Republican Party. He's gonna milk that. I would not be surprised if Trump had a rally every single day, or just about every day for the next 4 years, and just fundraised, talking about maybe running, and then like at the end, just doesn't. Yeah, Ross Perot pretty much bought his way in. Yeah, Right Wing Watch It. That's a good account on Twitter, actually. Yeah, pretty much, Dan. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have some more info about it on my TikTok later, and on my Twitter feed. I made a post about it. But yeah, that interview tomorrow is going to be pretty awesome, so I would definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off here, and I'm gonna see why the hell my setup is fucking up. I don't really understand why. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys coming to the stream. I think this was a max. I think we had like 65 viewers at one point, which is awesome. I really appreciate you guys hanging out, helping me grow. I really want to make this a thing and start streaming all the time, more content. Yeah. Thanks a lot, y'all. Peace out. And yeah, thanks for coming.